Well, we're about 3 months into the second Trump presidency, and we've already seen mass firings of hundreds of thousands of people working for government agencies. These include, but are not limited to, NOAA, climate research and weather, the Department of Education, the IRS, EPA, Social Security. You go down the list, there's quite a bit more of them. Planes are crashing at an unprecedented rate, not seen since the 80s, 90s, thereabouts. But make no mistake, this isn't because of DEI hiring practices, but rather there aren't enough air traffic controllers keeping our skies safe for commercial air travel. This is a problem we've seen since the Reagan administration, when the shortage began, and unfortunately, it has not recovered since then. Our closest allies have been stabbed in the back, i.e., Canada, Mexico, the European Union, whether it's because of tariffs, warmongering, or a mix of both. Also, who's president anyway? Is it Donald Trump or is it Elon Musk? That's the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind. But needless to say, courts have been working overtime in striking down this catastrophic and, dare I say, country hostage. And in case you're wondering why wasn't all this done during Trump's first term when he took office in 2017, well, the answer is simple. Because Trump had a lot of establishment Republicans in his cabinet who have the political experience and know-how and the expertise to stand up to him as to, hey, Trump, here's why we can't do this, here's why we can't do this to these people. Well, now there's none of that. There are no guardrails. It is pedal to the metal, balls to the wall, whatever he wants to do, his guys will say yes to him. But let's talk about immigration, shall we? Trump and MAGA love to hyper-focus on people entering the country illegally, like there's no other worse crimes you can do. And let's be honest, Trump has done all of them like several times over, all the white-collar crimes you can think of. And wasn't Elon an illegal immigrant at some point before he became a US citizen in 2001? That's a tough one. Yeah, I think his brother said he was. I mean, you didn't see Bill Clinton or George W. Bush send his ass to a slave labor gulag in El Salvador. Also, let's be clear, deportations imply you're sending someone back to their country of origin. So if someone is from originally, say, Albania, and they emigrate to the US and illegally enter in some form or another, they're sent back to Albania, not a prison in El Salvador. I mean, when you do that, there's a word for it. It's called kidnapping. It's called human trafficking. And that's what ICE is doing to people like Kilmar Obrego Garcia, Rumeza Ozturk, Mahmoud Khalil, et al., and many others. But those are the ones that have gotten like the most press attention. I mean, with all this being said, due process has clearly left the building. There is no more innocent until proven guilty. This is just one aspect of a fascist dictatorship. You know what another one is? If you said suing and defunding news outlets and media companies because you don't like how they report on your utter wrongdoings, ding, 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 you are correct. You recently did this with NPR, PBS, Associated Press, and probably more. And now on to tariffs, which is a tax on imported goods. And Trump loves those so damn much too. Now, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do tariffs. The right way is targeted. So let's say, for instance, we produce a lot of strawberries in some region in the US or regions. A tariff on Egyptian or Turkish strawberries would make sense because it incentivizes people to buy the American strawberries. So, in a sense, you're propping up a domestic market of strawberries. Now, I only use strawberries as an example. Typically, targeted tariffs are aimed at products like steel, cars, iron ore, textiles, which are like towels and linens and all that kind of stuff. But what Trump is set on doing is across the board tariffs, like on almost every country. It's crazy. But also, the idea that tariffs will just magically boost manufacturing here at home is completely preposterous and not backed up by, well, anything really. I think Biden actually had a plan, and not just a concept of a plan, to address our reliance on certain imported goods, like computer chips. You know, the CHIPS Act that helped onshore nearly 800,000 manufacturing jobs, while Trump lost 200,000 in his first term. These are estimations, by the way. These aren't like exact numbers, obviously. Like, it's not exactly 800,000 or 200,000, but you get what I mean. So who's really more America first here? Look, I have many criticisms of Biden and how his presidency went, but flippin' heck, it was nowhere near this bad. We're looking at best case scenario, a recession, and unfortunately, a second depression isn't out of the question, and it can't be ruled out. I wish I was kidding about that. I really do, but unfortunately, this is not hyperbole. Because I gotta say, I've been hearing a lot of people bring up Smoot-Hawley, the Smoot-Hawley Act, which didn't cause the Great Depression in the 1930s and starting in late 29, but it didn't help it either. And make no mistake, if you voted for Trump and you're still filleting his scrotum on a daily basis, believe it or not, I still want what's best for you. I want you to succeed in life. I want you to not just survive, but thrive. I want you to be able to pay your bills, your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, and have money left over to go on vacations and just do what you want and be happy in life. I want you to not go bankrupt from hospital visits and medical procedures. I want you to be able to take time off from your job and raise your child. I do not wish harm on any of you. I make this video to shed light on this objective reality that the Trump regime, which is really what it should be called, not the Trump administration, and to let you know that I care about each and every one of you, regardless of your political affiliation. But as for MAGA and the movement, the cult, I kind of see it as more the latter. Your movement will collapse, like the economy, if the trajectory of uncertainty continues. The GOP will likely not recover from this disarray you helped to create anytime soon. As a matter of fact, the crumbling has already started from within. I mean, you've seen these town halls, you see the constituents and how pissed off they are. And sadly, it's only going to get worse for your reputation from here on out, eventually paving the way for demagnification.